Hey y'all, welcome back to Oli Makes. So Easter's coming up, and that means another holiday gift giving occasion. And I came across something on the Bearded Viking Facebook group, and Conrad Wheeler, I believe, had started batching these out. Pocket crosses. And I put my own little spin on it and have an engraving on the back. And they're easy to make, cute little trinkets, have a groove in it, kind of similar to a worry stone. Uh, for anxiety or something, you grab it and kind of calm yourself. But I'm going to go ahead and whip out a few of these for some gifts. So stick around, I'll show you how to do it. Since I do know I'm going to be making more than one of these, I did actually do a jig. And you will see here why I usually don't show myself doing jigs. Because I make them way more complicated than they need to be. And you'll see exactly what I did here as we get into using this. But let's go ahead and get this set up. I'll need to grab some clamps to clamp this down. Get this on the very far edges here so I got enough room to work. Okay. And now I got some scrap wood. Oh, this is a while back. I'm not even sure what this stuff is, to be completely honest. The light doesn't do it justice. This is kind of a more of a tan color. It looks pretty bleached out in this light. But who knows what it is. It looks good, so I think I'm going to use it. Now with this jig here, what I've done is it's going to be able to hold it. I'm going to cut this at 8 inches. So I do 8-inch strips. And the dimensions of this project are going to be 1.5 wide and 2 inches long by the time I'm said and done and it's a finished piece. So 8 inches will give me 4 that I can run off of one jig. And then here is where I'm going to come across. So this way I'll do the length of the cross, and then this way I'll do the cross piece, all on one jig. Again, this is why I usually don't show myself making jigs, because I'll redesign it 20 times in my head before I'm done with it, and it turns into a mess. So I'll go ahead and get this cut down to 8 inches here, and we'll get her all ready. Okay, got her cut down on the bandsaw to 8 inches. Slide this in here. I'm just going to take a skewer, take up any gap in there. That should work for that. And we're going to be using a Dremel. And again, I'm new to this using Dremel on wood thing. But I am going to be using this kind of bit, if I can get a decent focus. Pretty small. Not too big at all. But that is what I'm going to do my groove with here. So we'll get her all plugged up and kind of see how I knock this out. Okay, so there we have our first groove. Now I'll take it like this, take the Dremel, and I'm just gonna go right across and make the cross groove. A little bit of tear out there, just a hair. You can barely see it, but hopefully I'll be able to take care of most of that with sanding. Now, one other thing this jig will let me do is it shows me my 2-inch mark. So I can mark it, square it off, and it will be ready for the bandsaw. So let me go ahead and cut this one quick, and I'll come back and we'll do the rest of them. A lot of times when I'm doing one-offs, I don't bother setting fences up and doing jigs or anything along those lines. But since I do know I'm going to be making more than one or two of these, I'm going to go ahead and get stuff set up so I can do more of a batch type mode. And there we go. That's the roughed out part of it. Back here to the jig. So we will just do this all over again. Get the Dremel over here. Get this set. And then I do end up with one short one. So I'll actually just make a run of just these short ones. Now, these, I don't know where they originated from, but honestly, these remind me more of the worry stones. You see them a lot of times around cave, gift shops, and whatnot. It's a stone, and it's got a groove, and that groove kind of fits your thumb. And you sit there when you're anxious or worried or something, you sit there and rub it like that. Well, obviously, a little sharp, got to get a groove. I'm using a very high-tech tool. Sandpaper, wrapped around a dowel, painter's tape. And I'll just get this on here. Kind of do a groove. I don't want to overkill with the groove. But very low-tech solution here. And let's see if I can actually get a profile here. You can kind of see how that groove is in there. That actually needs to be a little bit more on here. And I'm not looking for perfection by any means, because I want to kind of keep the handmade aspect of these. So That's what we got. So just kind of test it with your thumb. You know, some people's thumbs are bigger, some are smaller, so you don't want one that fits your whole thumb if you got big fat digits like me. But just something that'll be comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and sand out the rest of these. I really got to break down and make myself a real sanding block like I did my kid. But same sandpaper. Just going to kind of rough off or sand off all these rough edges. Because, again, this is a comfort thing. So you want everything to be smooth. Not pointy, rough. Because that's why people grab this to begin with. They're experiencing stuff that's a little pointy and rough in life. And not doing anything too awful special here. Again, sticking with the whole handmade and rough aspect. Not looking to get any of these roundovers perfect by any means. Just no corners is what I'm going for. And then I'm also going to try to knock off the edge here of where that Dremel bit went through. This is what 120 grit I'm doing this all down to. So it doesn't take a lot of work to do what needs to be done. And I wish I knew what kind of wood this was. It's a hard wood, but it's not that hard because the sandpaper takes care of it pretty quick. Edge back and face sand. And now I don't know how good that's going to pick up, but no sharp corners. Got a few little cut marks from ripping that on the bandsaw I need to take care of. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these done here, and we'll move on to the next step. And here's where I'm going to put my own little twist on it. You didn't really think we're getting through a project without the laser now, did you? So, I'm just going to throw a little engraving on the back here. Already got that set from doing my tests, so now it's just a matter of throwing them in there and telling the machine to go. It's actually a pretty short little engraving. Takes less than 2 minutes. There we go. Now let's see if I can get this to focus. Let me turn this on autofocus here. Okay. And in case you can't read that, that's 1 Peter 5:7. Go ahead, feel free to Google it. I'll get the camera set back up here quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and start batching these out here. Really wish I knew what kind of wood this was. I don't know, my wood's worth of crap, but it almost kind of reminds me of a hickory. When the laser is going before I put the fume extraction on, it reminded me of running the damn smoker. So I don't know, maybe it's a hickory, but we're gonna shoot these with good old Easy Man's Finish, a shellac. Looks like my can's a little clogged here. Let this dry up, and then we'll shoot the other side. And this side I'm probably gonna go a little heavier because, well, again, this is something that people are going to be rubbing their thumb on and possibly be bouncing around their purse or pocket or something like that. So we're going to want a decent protective finish on it. So I won't bore you with watching this dry. I'll come back after the side's dry. We'll flip them and hit the other side. Forgot to pull the last one off the laser, and no, I almost forgot to hit record. Okay, we're gonna shoot the backs of these here. Alright, that should do, I do believe. So we'll let these dry up a bit. Looks like these are all set and ready here. And didn't turn out too bad. I don't know if I can get a good light here for the shot. Got kind of a gloss finish on them. And of course the engraving on the back. And it does have that little groove, if I can get oriented right, for the thumb. So, and well, personally, fits the hand decent, and I can see why some are doing like the corners cut off. I guess I would do these opposing corners here. Finger can wrap and knuckle can kind of go into it, but I don't know. I kind of like the bulky feel of it. But turns out a real quick, easy gift that you can knock out. Not too difficult. And you can batch them out quick. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.